Hi, boys and girls. Please take out your informational writing packet again. This, remember, is going to be our assignment next week when we get started writing on this topic about the 3 different types of mammals. We on Tuesday read, is that mammal a carnivore, herbivore, or omnivore, and answered some questions. And if we continue to go, yesterday we read about source 2 and answered some questions. And you're going to flip the page one more time and you're going to go to source 3. And this is the point where you are going to pause the video if you haven't already read this yourself independently. Please read independently before we read together and try to answer the questions on the next page by yourself. Then read with me, so you'll have read it 2 times, and double check to make sure you're happy about the answers that you wrote down for these questions. Notice that the questions here for source 3 are fill in the blank. So you don't have multiple choice questions like you did on the other 2 sources. Please pause now, and then we'll begin reading. Source 3. What are herbivores? The gopher in the mountain food chain is an example of a herbivore. Herbivores are animals that eat mainly plants. They are also known as primary consumers because they are the first consumers in a food chain. Examples of herbivores include deer, rabbits, grasshoppers, and squirrels. These are just a few examples of animals that eat plants as their main food source. So we have a caterpillar here, and we also have a mountain goat. Wide varieties. Herbivores can be found in most environments on Earth. They live in oceans, forests, deserts, and grasslands. They even live in the cold Arctic environment that surrounds the North Pole. Herbivores live in every environment where plants grow. Herbivores can be big or small. The African elephant, Earth's largest land animal, is a herbivore that eats mainly grasses. An adult elephant eats between 100 and 200 kilograms, which is 220 and 440 pounds, or plant matter every day. In North America's grasslands, herbivores can include animals from tiny insects to very large buffaloes. You can see here's a chipmunk and here's a great big elephant here. Passing along energy. Herbivores can be food for other animals. An animal that is hunted by another animal for food is called prey. An animal that hunts another animal for food is called a predator. Both predators and prey are consumers because they both must eat food to survive. What are carnivores and omnivores? You know that animals that eat mainly plants are called herbivores. What are animals that eat mainly other animals called? How about animals that eat both plants and animals? Each group has a name to describe it. An orca whale is a carnivore. Carnivores. Animals that eat other animals are called carnivores. Examples of carnivores include cats that eat mice and hawks that eat other birds. Frogs that eat insects and snakes that eat rabbits are also carnivores. In some cases, carnivores eat other carnivores. Hawks, for example, often eat snakes. Herons eat frogs, and lizards eat spiders. Omnivores. Some animals, such as bears, seem to eat everything. They eat such living things as fish, berries, leaves, mice, and squirrels. Are bears carnivores because they eat animals? Are they herbivores because they eat plants? In fact, bears are called omnivores. An omnivore is an animal that eats both plants and animals. Other examples of omnivores include raccoons, pigs, dogs, and chickens. Some insects, such as wasps and flies, will eat both plants and animals. Most people are omnivores too. People eat from a wide mix of plant and animal food groups. Both omnivores and carnivores are called secondary consumers. And a bear is an omnivore. A hornet is an omnivore. It eats both plants and animals. Okay, boys and girls, do your best in answering the following questions for source 3. And tomorrow in our Google Classroom or our Zoom meeting, we will double check to make sure you got these answers correct.